So now that we're familiar with the conditions that allow us to practice the sport of wing foiling, we also need to get to know the basic pieces of gear that allow us to do this sport. And there are 3 basic pieces of kit. That's gonna be the wing itself, which is the thing that allows you to capture the wing. You hold it in your hands, it's actually inflatable, and that powers the sport. 2, we have the board. It's a shaped piece of foam, fiberglass, or carbon composite, which allows you to get up to planing speed. Think of it as your boat or your vessel. And then finally, you have your hydrofoil. And your hydrofoil is gonna be the magical piece of aluminum or carbon. It's like a plane that flies underwater, and at a certain speed, it lifts your weight, and it allows this magical flying sensation. So when you combine the power of the wind captured by the wing, the board in order to stand on and get up to plane, and the magic of your foil or your underwater airplane, those 3 things come together and create the wonderful world of wing foiling. So one of the most important pieces of gear that you're gonna be using is the wing itself. The wing is a sewn piece of Dacron and canopy, and sewn in a particular way that it's able to harness the power of the wind, and you're able to hold onto it with the strength of your hands and use that to sail yourself around the water. The wing is comprised of an inflatable leading edge. It's got a strut, which is also inflated. It's got a canopy, which actually takes the load of the wind. It may or may not come with windows. It's also going to have a safety leash and some shape form of handles. Those handles are gonna be what you hold on to in order to get the wing into the sky. So most wings are gonna be comprised of those simple components. They can be assembled in a lot of different ways, and so familiarize yourself with your piece of equipment before you get started. So the next piece of important equipment that you need to familiarize yourself with is going to be the board or the vessel you choose to ride. Now in winging, or the sport of wing foiling, there are 2 big options that you can choose from. The first one is gonna be a keel style hardboard or inflatable board. The second one is gonna be a hydrofoil style board. The keel style board is actually gonna be riding on the surface of the water, and it's gonna be using a large keel fin in order to keep you upwind and able to tack and jibe and do your reaches across the wind. The keel boards are generally gonna be used in the beginning of the sport to learn how to do the sport of wing foiling, and then you're gonna slowly progress to the other type of board, which is a hydrofoil specific board. Now the thing that makes a hydrofoil board specifically a hydrofoil board is it has the ability to mount to a hydrofoil, and it's reinforced to take the load of the hydrofoil. Not just any old board can you just drill holes in and whack a hydrofoil on. There's actually some special things that go into a hydrofoil board. There's gonna be a top deck and bottom deck. There's gonna be rails, whether they're chined or round. There's going to be an EVA pad on the top. There's gonna be a spot to attach your leash. And finally, on the bottom, there's either gonna be a spot for a centerboard or keel, or there is going to be a spot to mount the foil. And in most cases, that's gonna be foil tracks, which allow you to adjust the position of the foil either forward or back in order to get the geometry or the balance of your foil perfect for you. Wing foil boards and equipment come in a variety of shapes and sizes, from super large 11-foot style keel boards for tracking and maybe using for a sup when it's not windy, all the way down to tiny little boards for doing flips and tricks. The way we measure these boards is gonna be dimensions and literage. So you may have an 11-foot board that's 150 liters of volume, or you may have a 3-foot board that's only 25 liters in volume. What's important to understand is that the size of the board offers stability, and the literage of the board offers float. As you progress through your wing foiling career, you're gonna slowly decrease the sizes of your boards generally and get onto smaller literage boards, which are more maneuverable and a little bit more fun to ride. The final piece of equipment that makes the wing foiling dream a reality is actually the hydrofoil itself. Now, for those of you not familiar, a hydrofoil is essentially an underwater plane comprised of a few parts. You're gonna go ahead and have your front wing, which provides the lifting force for your hydrofoil. You're gonna have your tail wing or stabilizer, which acts as a stabilizer for the lifting force in the front. Those are gonna be combined together with a fuselage, which puts the two together and the spacing required. And then those are gonna be mounted to a mast. And this mast is what determines your height above the water, and it also connects your hydrofoil board to your hydrofoil itself. Now, these hydrofoils come in a variety of constructions, from high-end modulus carbon to more price-affordable aluminum constructions. You're also gonna have a variety of wing shapes and sizes, from high aspect, kind of glider-style flying wings, to lower aspect, kind of shovel nose wings. Each of these has different characteristics. Some provide low lifting speed. Generally, the larger the foil is, the slower you can go to lift yourself. These foils are often measured in their square centimeters of lifting area. So a large square centimeter foil is gonna provide a lot of lift at low speeds, while a very small surface area wing is gonna provide lift at higher speeds, meaning this one's gonna be able to go faster and be more reactive than something that's a little bit bigger. So generally when we're learning, we're looking for lower aspect foils. We're looking for foils that are easy and forgiving to ride. And we may be looking for some that are built in aluminum in order to be a little bit more durable, while we're inevitably gonna crash a little bit, and having a more durable foil is gonna help us in the long run. So that's our final piece of equipment. It's a hydrofoil. It's the magic that makes all of this work. In addition to the 3 basic pieces of equipment that you need to get in the water for the sport of wing foiling, you may find that you need a few other accessories, and some key ones that we want to cover are neoprene. So for those of you that are going to be practicing in colder waters or cold weather climates, you're going to need to familiarize yourself with the world of wetsuits. They come in various thicknesses, and those are designed in order to allow you to recreate in the water when the conditions are a little bit colder. Additionally, you're going to need to understand leashes. You need both a leash for your board to your body, and you need a leash from your wing to you. You're also gonna need a pump. You may want some booties. A helmet or some personal protective equipment is also really good. You're looking at impact vests and helmets in order to provide flotation and impact protection, maybe some sunscreen, and anything else that you need to get yourself into the water. There's also down the line some options for foot straps, harnesses, harness lines, and a variety of other accessories. As we get further into the modules, we'll go ahead and cover all the things that you need to have success on the water. But again, it's mainly 3 pieces of equipment and a variety of accessories depending on your conditions. All right, so we've gone over the 3 essential pieces of gear and all the accessories you need to get into the water. Now there's a lot more to go over with each of those pieces of equipment. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the wing itself. We're gonna get it out of the bag, we're gonna get it pumped up, and we're gonna go over how you familiarize yourself with using this wing in the wind, and we're gonna do that independently of the water, the hydrofoil, and the board. So go ahead and grab your wing and join me for the next module.